All right, and just like that, thing is done, vlog is done. I just gotta put the spot sheet in the book at home. Wait, yeah, the book at home, and then in the envelope. I'm kind of pissed because immediately at myself, because I was doing a little like stack of papers, because I got, you know, a notebook that's like this wide, and I would rip pages out to do like lists of what I want out of the Uline books and what I wish I could have, and stuff that I want but I don't want to spend the money on, you know, because I've always dreamed about building my own like shop, you know, to get all my shit out of Dad's garages. You know, the reasons why I say out of Dad's garages is because I can get my toolboxes and all that shit, you know, parts bins and all that out of the front garage. And then, or my bolt bins and my garbage and my rags and, you know, all that out of the front garage. And then you know, all my bikes and parts out of the back garage. I don't know why I'm on this. I guess just stay out of people's way. And all that, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, because I thought about if I have, you know, if I get the, you know, if Grandma's just gonna throw the portable garage that's at her house out, I was like, hey, is it okay if I take it? You know, I'd ask her and Dad. Grandma's like, yeah. Dad's like, what the fuck are you gonna use it for? I'm like, I'm gonna use that to work in and all that, you know, cut, grind and all that. You know, because of your truck. He's like, you ain't gonna have power. I said, I'll tell him, Dad, I'll figure this out one step at a fucking time. I think that might have been my old boss. You know, I'll tell him I'll figure this out one step at a time. He's only be like, you gonna have a workbench? I'm like, yeah. How are you gonna make, you know, get a workbench? I'm like, you know, I'm gonna take a shelf and some angle iron from the back garage, make my own workbench, and then I'm gonna cut a piece of plywood a little bit bigger than what I need to go underneath the workbench where the vise would go, because I'd be using carriage bolts and all that, and just tighten them down from the top, cut the excess bolts off and all that, you know. So Dad's like, okay. And then eventually I'm going to use that same piece of plywood, or I may just cut that whole piece of plywood, you know, the same width of the top of the shelf slash workbench, you know, just call it a workbench, because then I'll just eventually, you know, buy a grinder, a benchtop grinder, mount it, and then bam, you know, and then buy some pegboard. I don't know why I'm going back down this way. Something to do, I guess. You know, and then I'll have the power strip and the extension cord there, and or you know, the extension cord ran out there, power strip there. Then I'll have lights. I know I won't have the benchtop grinder, the bench grinder plugged in all the time, so because the cord will be in the way and all that, so you know, and all that, and take a right, go past Rollies. You know, but I don't know. That's one more thing that we gotta fucking cut around and all that shit. So I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Obviously, I won't, you know, work in it at night because, you know, it's when people are winding down after work and all that, and you know, on days like this, you know, when I am off and people are out, you know, can't complain about noise and whatever. So Dad's like, oh, what about air and power? And I said, Dad, I'll tell him I'll figure that out one step at a time. You know, I'm like, how much, to ask him how much you want for the, because he's got a pancake compressor for if he needs a compressor somewhere. He's really fucking close. He's in this tree. Sounds like he is, I just can't see him. There he is. So fucking woman's bike. Gotta save dang how good a shape it is. Tires look to be holding air. It's a chain. Yeah, no, I was saying I could sell it, but I don't have anywhere to store a fucking bike. If I had a portable garage, I would be able to store it in there and then just sell it, but I'm gonna go get a soda. Go to Pit Row. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys and I forgot yesterday. So must be in the backyard. So I went up to Quick Trip yesterday for lunch, right? And so I go get, I get a soda every time I'm at every time I get lunch from Quick Trip, right? And I go and I know where the soda I like is, on the end down by the bathrooms. And the strawberries and cream